and gentlemen, James of Team Nameless here with more Megaman, Dr. Wily's Revenge on the Game Boy. We're at the final level, Dr. Wily's evil space fortress of doom. Did I mention it's in space and that it's evil? I just did, I know. I'm not that forgetful, don't doubt me, dear viewers. So yeah, we have the longest level in the game, and it's hard as hell. I could never beat this as a kid, and I only recently actually beat it. And I just kind of stuttered right there. Kind of weird, but don't doubt me. Trust me, this level's hard as hell. In fact, it's long. It's a freaking marathon. And there's the disappearing block puzzles, which in themselves are much harder than the ones in Megaman stage. So the ones in Megaman stage were very, very easy. And these are the exact opposite. And I nearly died there. If these were Megaman 1 spikes, I would have been killed right there. I'd be dead. Deader than dead. I'd be, like, killed and brought back to life just so I could be killed again. Kind of gruesome, you think? Now, this first block puzzle isn't too bad. One, because you don't have any of the BS that's in the second puzzle. This one's really straightforward, actually. You just have to have good timing, but I guess that's how it should be with all block puzzles. And here, you can't see it, but there's a bird thing coming up. Yeah, there it is. I had to kill that bird with my electricity. And now we have a big eye. I actually think I showed off that thing I told you to do earlier that I didn't show off. Freeze it, then use Ice Beam. This part right here actually reminds me of the first Wily stage in Megaman 1, where you have the 3 big eyes. Because 3 big eyes, if you use invincibility frames, still, you'll be killed, because each big eye takes off 1/3 of your health with each hit. And, you know, that can kill you pretty quick. But yeah, I'm pumped up for this. It's the final level, the final boss. You're watching the second time I've ever actually done this. And like I said before, or maybe didn't, I don't know, I kind of forget what I said before. No save states were used. Though unlike my first time, this was this was done on an emulator. I have no way of recording my Game Boy. I don't have an SNES and a Super Game Boy, nah. I do have an N64 though, so if I wanted to record the first and second generation Pokemon games, I could do that using the Game Boy Tower and Pokemon Stadium 2, but that's besides the point. That was the bullshit block puzzle I was talking about. It has a thing where the block appears, but then you have to jump up right above it in time. Not too bad, and it's a nice bit of difficulty. And that's the thing, if I say it's a bullshit puzzle, more likely than not, it's just because it's really Nintendo hard. And I mean good Nintendo hard, not like I want to be the guy Nintendo hard. Or, yeah. I was going to mention something, but I'm not. If you can guess in the comments what I was going to mention, but decide not to, you get a cyber cookie, I guess. Not like one of those website cookies, I mean like, I will reach through the screen and hand you a cookie through the internet. Because I can somehow do that, I guess. So, another thing I should mention, though you probably noticed this run, I got lucky. I didn't die nearly as much as I normally do. But also, I didn't cut out any deaths in this. All the deaths you see here are every single death that I made. Though I'm not sure if I die in this level. If I don't, then that's a new record. I know I didn't... Oh, I know I died a few times to the final boss, but... It's because the final bars... Yes, the final bars... No, but the final boss is a bit difficult. Especially since his second form can only be damaged by one weapon. His own. Yeah, you can kind of see where this is going. If you've played this game before, you obviously know where this is going. And if you have played this game before, tell me what you thought about it. Seriously. So this is what I was talking about last part. You can charge up the heat thing, Heatman's weapon. I don't remember the name of it. And you can break down certain walls. It's not mandatory ever, but right here, by taking this upper path and using that, you can get, wait for it, dramatic pause. There we go. You can get an alternate path filled with weapon energy and stuff. Very nice. I wish this game had more of that. It's already a short game, and I think they could have definitely added some alternate paths and stuff. I know they did that in 4 in the Game Boy. I don't remember if they did in 5. I don't actually own Megaman 5 on the Game Boy. I own 1 through 4 on the Game Boy, but I never ever found a copy of 5 on the Game Boy. Of all of them, I'd have to say 4 on the Game Boy is the best one, though. I eventually did get to play 5, but 4 is, like, awesome. I know it doesn't have the original robots, it doesn't have Star Droids or anything like that, but I just think 4 on the Game Boy has... I think it's a bit better... I can't even describe it, actually. Maybe it's just nostalgia talking, but at the same time, just wonderful, fantastic game. Megaman 4 on the Game Boy. I recommend everyone play that. And if you're wondering what that pause was, well, my dog decided to come up on my lap, and I didn't want to try fighting the boss with my dog. And while I was a small dog, he didn't want to get down. Seriously, I put him down and he jumped up. It was... Sometimes he acts a bit like a cat. It's kind of weird. But here we have the final boss. His first form, most websites will say he's weak to the bubble lead. That's bullshit. He's weak to the quick boomerang. And I'm weak to him, apparently. And his main attack is shooting enemies. Yeah, instead of actually attacking you, he shoots his minions at you. I don't know what to think about. It's like getting in a gunfight with someone, and then they throw the gun at you, and it kills you. That makes sense. It probably doesn't. In fact, I think that was kind of the point I was going for. But anyways, here's his second form. And actually, for those who played 4 on the Game Boy, does this boss look familiar to you? Or at least his head? So this final boss is hard as hell. It may look easy, he's not. What happens is, you have to use Inker's weapon to knock the attacks back into you. But he has this claw that comes out and homes onto you. And the claw and the lasers are not synced. Very difficult, trust me. On the test recording, I got a game over here like 4 times. However, actually I was going to say with enough practice it's easy. This wasn't easy. This was pure frickin' luck right here. Seriously, how I died only once to this guy, I'll never know. By far the luckiest run I've ever had of this game. And I just noticed Dr. Wily, his hair is radioactive. He should kind of get that looked at. But then again, Megaman's a smurf according to my color palette, so... Yeah. Dr. Wily's defeated. He's begging for mercy. So now we're going to kill him, like we wanted to in Mega Man 7. No, that was a joke. We don't actually get to kill Dr. Wily. So we destroyed Dr. Wily's space fortress. We see a random... Well, it's not showing up right here. How weird. Oh, there it is. We see a random space shuttle. Mega Man's not in it. I mean, how else would he be able to appear in the stars and rock and be able to walk in thin air, or not even thin air, it's space, there is no air. So the octo batteries are called Susies. That thing is called a chain key. Chain key! Cutting wheel. So, I always thought those were called like a cutting board or something. I don't know why we call it a cutting board. So there's a screwdriver. I think a shot driver would sound better because they come up and shoot at you. The super cutter, which is also the name, if I remember correctly, of Cutman's weapon. Actually, that's wrong. His is the rolling cutter. Now, the metals are just called mets. To me. Seriously, they have a different name in every game. They're like Me-Tools or Metals or... my favorite one was Mega Man Unlimited, the Metois, where it's like 3 that come up at once. The Metois, get it? 3, trois. It's French for 3. Those are called moles. I guess it makes sense because moles dig? We have Pippi, or Pee-Pee, or anyway. Something. I'll just call him Pippi. We have Sniper Joe, and it only shows one variation of him because they look exactly the same, they just act differently. We have the Big Eye, who is a pain in the ass to fight. And we have Kaminari Goro. I'll just call him that cloud guy from Airman stage. Much easier. We have Chenki Maker. So, yeah. We have Bunby Harry. Actually, if I remember correctly, those are called Bladers in Megaman Powered Up. We have Cutman. Actually, I think the Robot Masters from Megaman 1, or at least before that appeared, this is the first time their portraits appear in the game. We have a Lekman. Iceman, who apparently doesn't have a nose. Guess he's like Voldemort or something. We have Fireman, whose face looks kind of like a dog. We have Bubbleman, who, well, it's Bubbleman. It's just an 8-bit sprite of his, 8-bit sprite, a Game Boy sprite of his Megaman 2 model. We have Heatman, who is really freaking happy for some reason. I have Quickman, who stage I'm glad we never had to go through. Seriously, that stage is Devil Incarnate. We have Flashman, who has a giant chin. Like, he's like Jay Leno or something. I have Anchor, who... I'm glad Anchor, along with Pumpkin Blade from Mega Man 3 and 4 on the Game Boy respectively, made an appearance in Mega Man 10. Sure, they were DLC bonus stages, but I quite like those stages. And if you have Mega Man 10 and haven't gotten those stages yet, they're cheap. It's worth the money. And I mentioned Mega Man Unlimited several times during this. It's a good game, download that. But most of all, if you find this game, it's hard as hell, it's Nintendo hard, and you should play it. I recommend this game to everyone who likes Mega Man. But I recommend Mega Man 4 on the Game Boy even more. Seriously, that game just is like 10 times better than this one. This one was pretty good, but that game is like, whoa. I heard 5's pretty good as well. I've only played a bit of 5. I never actually beat that one either. Mega Man 5 on the Game Boy I played a few stages of and then had to give it back to my cousin. But that's besides the point. We have beaten the game. So long, ladies and gentlemen.